Stop.
Kigaru Taro.
For entertainment purposes only.
Only?
Only.
Hi, everybody. Okay, now I want to talk to you about this journey because it was one amazing journey. My sitter was very spiritually advanced, and not only could she be able to roll with what was going to happen, she could also help support it spiritually as it happened and hold open space for me to listen to the spirits as we took this journey. It started with the cotton candy hairdo. And I saw this cotton candy hairdo actually at my old high school, which I don't even live near anymore, but the high school had this big field, and I was standing on the road, the same road where I talked to Mr. Weingartner, and looking back at the school across from the grounds. In real life, this field was completely flat, but in the dream, there suddenly was a tree there in the middle, and this fantastical, beautiful, beautiful being came forth with their absolutely beautiful cotton candy bouffant hairdo and a beautiful fishtail dress to match. They came forward and asked me to come closer to the tree. And as I came closer to the tree, I saw that the tree didn't have very many leaves, like it might be fall or something. It looked more like an apple tree in shape. I grew up in apple country, so I would know an apple tree. But this tree had jewels studded in its bark everywhere, all over the tree, all over the bark. And the being, the spirit guide of my sitter, kind of went, that same game show arm, like, pick a gem, pick a gem. So I started describing the colors of the gem. But when I got there, right away my eye was drawn to this one orange gem. It was, orange sherbet colored. It was so pretty. There were blues, there were clears like diamonds, all sorts of things. And I started to describe them for my sitter so she could pick one. But the guide kept really drawing my eye to this orange sherbet one, just really like, see this one. And so I told her that. I said, it seems like he's really trying to influence the choice here. And she said, okay, I'll take it. So I reached up and I picked the gem. And the guide had me set the gem point down, because it was very pointy at the bottom, going like in a ring. And I set the gem in the lawn with the point down, sort of like a golf tee. And the gem grew huge. It grew really huge. And one of the facets opened up, and it was a vehicle. And so basically I said, they're going to take us somewhere. Do you want to get in? And so we got in, and the facet closed. And I have to tell you that one of the reasons that ties this all together is when I saw that pink cotton candy, I just thought of high school. I thought about the country fairs we used to go to, and the rides and things like that, and the happiness and like the first love, when you're dating and that sort of thing. And it just felt so very lighthearted and just really wanted to draw me in, but it was all kind of connected. And so we got in to the jewel, and the facet closed, and we started spinning like one of those teacup rides, and we like, woo, and went way up in the air and landed in Maui, Hawaii. And I know that because they took me to the very beach that I went on vacation, so I would know where we were actually at. And the gem came down and planted in the sand, point down, in such a way that it was perfectly balanced. It wasn't rocking or tipping or anything, and the facet opened up and we got out. Her guide was already there and had changed their clothes, kind of, and became Ursula of the Disney. But I sensed no evil in her or anything. And so now I'm going to call the guide Ursula for now. And Ursula grabbed her hands gently, helped her wade into the water, and then swished her around like you might a baby in the water. And then Ursula put this, it looked exactly like the gem we just rode in, except for it just fit her head like a helmet. And so I asked, why are you doing that? And she said, it's so that she won't be panicked when we go underwater, so that she can breathe and can see easy. And I kind of almost wanted to say, how come you're not offering me one? But they looked at my sea turtle guide and you're like, you've already been down there. It doesn't panic you at all. So we went. I hung on to the shell of my sea turtle, kind of from the side, so I didn't impede her progress. And Ursula took my sitter down, and we dove deep in the ocean, and we finally ended up on a ledge. And on the ledge, we could look over, and it was black deep. It was so deep. We could barely see where we were, but I could definitely see that we were on a ledge that projected out and then went way deep. And over to the left on this ledge, I could see some sort of installation. And I asked Ursula, why have you brought us here? And then she explained that this was a facility for some star beings, and that they wanted her to ask my sitter if that she would be on their council and report to them. And suddenly, as she's asking this, I'm like seeing a map of the United States, and I'm seeing this orange sherbet move about, and I'm like a little confused. And so but something prompts me, and I asked my sitter, where do you live? And it turns out that she lives right on the ocean. I won't tell you which coast so that you don't know who. That she lives right on the ocean. She can see the ocean from every window in her house practically. And then the whole thing made sense to me. Suddenly I just, like, the knowing kind of crashed in, and I kind of realized what her job was, and told her about the job and how this made sense. And that's when my sitter did, and I've already shown this in the video, did the most remarkable spiritual discernment I've ever seen, where she, instead of being bowled over by all these theatrics and the awe and all this, she knew to say, please ask them who is asking me. Who is this council, and what and why, all these things. And so I told her, and it made sense to her, and she agreed. And then Ursula was so excited, she kind of jetted up and did a few flip-flops and came back and got her. And then we all went back up to the surface. At the surface, in the sand, I found a big key. And I reached down to pick it up, and I think my sitter knew, and she's like, yes, pick it up. Of course, you can't overlook that gift. And I knew, though, when I picked it up, the gift was for her. This key is for her. And so I also performed a small little spiritual discernment there and asked Ursula what this key does, how she's supposed to use it, maybe give us an example. And so the key then was given to my sitter, and we got back in the jewel and went. And it was a fantastical journey. It was amazing. It was amazing. And then when my sitter gave me feedback, it all made sense. It everything fit together like a glove, like a puzzle. And I was just amazed. So I have so many more stories now. I don't even know which one to talk about first. I just wanted to talk about this one because I learned so much. You know, I learned about spiritual discernment. I learned about they, them pronouns. I learned a little bit more about our guides over there, that not only do they not really have too much gender involved, they can just combine both genders, and in an amazing way. So I'll tell you more stories. I hope you enjoy this one. I know I was bowled over by this one and felt like cloud 9 for the rest of the day. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.